An accused religious leader will leave jail ahead of his trial. The former Riverside Community Church pastor Michael Richardson was placed on conditional release today in Tazewell County. He appeared before a packed courtroom in Pekin. The state did not file a petition to keep him behind bars pre-trial. Richardson is charged with one count of distributing harmful material to a minor. That's a Class 4 felony. Court records show he's accused of sending sexually explicit photographs of himself to a minor last summer. Under the court's order, Richardson will remain free until his next court appearance, which is scheduled for February 26th. As part of his release, he must allow electronic devices like cell phones and tablets, as well as all social media accounts, to be searched at the request of pretrial services. Neither he nor his attorney would comment after the hearing.